When I woke up that morning, I was sure it had all been a dream. The pot couldn't have glowed blue. It couldn't have called my name. Pots don't whisper. But when I went to the kitchen, Mama Gift was already there, stirring the pot with trembling hands, her face pale as if she hadn't slept at all. "Good morning, Mama," I said softly. She didn't look at me. "Morning, Amara. Go wash the bowls outside. The market won't wait." Her voice was steady, but her eyes weren't. They were tired, shadowed. I opened my mouth to speak, then stopped. I wanted to tell her I'd seen the pot glowing last night. I wanted to ask why she whispered to it, why it seemed alive. But something in her silence told me not to. Instead, I went outside, the early sun warm against my skin. Birds chirped, and the smell of fried beans floated from our neighbor's compound. The world looked ordinary, but my heart wasn't calm. As I scrubbed the bowls, I thought of the blue flame, the whisper, the strange sadness in Mama's eyes. I needed to tell someone who wouldn't laugh too much but wouldn't panic either. That someone was Ikenna. I found him sitting under the mango tree near the stream, peeling roasted corn. His hair stuck out like a brush, and his laughter always came before he spoke. "Ikenna," I whispered, glancing around before sitting beside him. He grinned. "You sound like you're planning to steal mangoes again." I frowned. "This is serious. Promise you won't laugh." "I won't." I leaned closer. Last night, I saw Mama's pot glowing. It was blue, like a spirit fire, and I paused, lowering my voice. I think it spoke my name. Ikenna's eyes widened. Then he burst out laughing, slapping his thigh. "Amara, you've been eating too much pepper soup. Pots don't talk unless your mama hide the radio inside." "Ikenna, I'm not joking." He stopped laughing when he saw my face. The smile faded slowly. "You are serious?" I nodded. He looked thoughtful for a while, scratching his chin. "Then maybe it's magic. You know how our grandmothers used to say some women cook with spirit. Maybe your mama's pot has one inside." I stared at him. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking," he said softly this time. "Let's find out. Tonight, we'll watch her from outside the window." I hesitated. "What if she catches us?" He grinned. "Then we'll say we were chasing a rat." Despite my fear, I laughed. Maybe that's what I liked most about Ikenna. He could turn fear into something almost exciting. That evening, the market was as busy as a festival. Drums echoed in the distance. Mama Gift's stall smoked and sizzled with life. I helped fan the fire while she served steaming bowls of egusi soup to travelers. The air smelled of palm oil, onions, and roasted fish. She looked better now, smiling, talking softly to customers, but there was still something strange. Each time people laughed near her stall, the black pot beside the fire shimmered faintly as if the laughter fed it. When two women quarreled over meat portions, the pot hissed and bubbled over. I froze. Was I seeing things again? I glanced at Mama. She didn't seem surprised. She simply stared faster, whispering something I couldn't hear. The pot calmed immediately. A chill ran through me. When we got home that night, I told Ikenna everything I'd noticed. He looked both scared and thrilled. "So the pot reacts to feelings," he whispered. "Maybe when people laugh, it glows. When they argue, it boils." He smiled faintly. "Then maybe it's not just food inside that pot, Amara. Maybe it's people's hearts." His words stuck with me. We hid near the kitchen window after Mama went to bed. The night air was cool, filled with the sound of frogs and crickets. Ikenna crouched beside me, his breath smelling faintly of groundnuts. Inside, the pot sat quietly on its stool, the black cloth covering it. The moonlight slid through the window bars, tracing thin lines on the clay floor. Mama Gift was in her room, or so we thought. Suddenly, the door creaked. Mama Gift entered slowly, her wrapper loose around her shoulders. She walked straight to the pot, humming softly, a tune that sounded like an old lullaby. She uncovered the pot, touched its rim gently, and whispered, "Thank you, my love. Stay with me." Ikenna and I looked at each other in shock. The pot began to glow, faintly at first, then brighter, that same strange blue light swelling like smoke in water. Mama Gift closed her eyes and smiled through tears. "Don't leave me yet," she said. Ikenna's hand gripped mine tightly. My heart thudded so loudly I thought she'd hear us. Then, as suddenly as it began, the light faded. Mama Gift covered the pot, wiped her face, and left. We ran. We didn't stop until we reached the stream. The moon danced on the water as we caught our breath. "Amara," Ikenna said, "whatever is inside that pot, it's alive." The next morning, the village buzzed again. Chief Odinyon was holding another feast, this time for visiting traders. Mama Gift had been asked to cook once more. She worked from sunrise, grinding peppers, slicing okra, stirring 3 huge pots. Sweat ran down her arms, but she refused to rest. I followed her everywhere, trying to help. "Sit, Mama, you are tired," I begged. "I'm fine," she said, but her voice was weak. By afternoon, her hands shook. She stumbled once, nearly spitting a pot of soup. I ran forward and caught her just in time. "Mama!" She blinked, dazed. "I just need water." But when she took a sip, her knees gave way. She fell against me, limp. People rushed to help. We carried her to a stool. Chief Odinyo himself appeared, his red cap gleaming. "She must rest. We will find another cook." "No," Mama Gift gasped weakly. "I must finish. The recipe must be right." Her words didn't make sense to them, but they chilled me. "What recipe?" When she finally agreed to rest, I helped her home. She lay down, exhausted. "Amara," she whispered, "don't touch the pot while I sleep. Do you hear me?" "Yes, Mama." But curiosity is a stubborn fire. It burns louder when you try to silence it. That night, the house was quiet, except for the sound of crickets. The moon hung low, big and orange. I sat near Mama's bed until her breathing slowed, then I turned towards the kitchen. The pot sat in its usual place, silent, covered. The fire beneath it was cold, but something pulled me towards it like an invisible hand. I lifted the cloth. The pot wasn't glowing. Inside, it looked like pain stew. I leaned closer, heart pounding. That's when I saw it, a small bundle floating just below the surface, wrapped tightly in banana leaf. Without thinking, I reached in and lifted it out. It was heavier than it looked, warm even though the stew was cool. I unwrapped it slowly. Inside was a small black stone, smooth and shiny like river glass. It pulsed faintly. Once, twice, like a heartbeat. I gasped and dropped it. The sound echoed through the kitchen. "Mama?" I called softly. No answer. I bent, picked it up again, and this time, instead of fear, I felt calm. The stone was beautiful, strange, familiar somehow. Then I heard a faint whisper, not from the pot, but from somewhere deep inside me. "Don't lose it." I looked around, terrified. Nothing but silence. Without knowing why, I wrapped the stone again and hid it inside my wrapper. My hands shook as I covered the pot and crept back to my mat. That night, sleep didn't come easily. I lay awake, clutching the banana leaf bundle hidden under my mat. The house was quiet, too quiet. Even the crickets seemed to hold their breath. When I finally drifted off, the dream came. I was standing in the middle of a fog. The air shimmered blue, just like the pot's light. Then I saw him, my father. He stood barefoot, wearing the same wrapper he used to tie when pounding yam. His smile was gentle, but his eyes were sad. "Amara," he called softly. I took a step forward. "Papa?"
He nodded. You have touched what shouldn't be touched. Tears filled my eyes. I didn't mean to, I just wanted to know. He reached out a hand, light flickering through his fingers. Return what you took, my child, before it's too late. Before I could speak, thunder rumbled. The fog swelled around us. His voice echoed through it. Tell your mother, I am waiting. I screamed and woke up. The room was dark, the air thick. My heart thudded like a drum. I looked towards the kitchen and froze. The pot was uncovered. Steam rose slowly from it, though no fire burned underneath. And through the silence, I heard it again, soft, rhythmically calling from within. Amara, Amara.